Welcome to the Love Hub channel, where we discuss matters of the heart and give relationship advice to women. In today's episode, we are going to talk about the signs that he is in love with another woman. Remember, the Love Hub is a judgment-free zone. We don't judge women here. We are your safe space. And if this video will resonate with you, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Now let's get to the topic. Sign 1. He avoids going out with you in public. If he doesn't want to be seen and doesn't want to go anywhere in public with you, then there is a serious problem. He doesn't want the outside world to see you together as a couple because a relationship is what he wants with another girl. She may be on his mind the whole day. That is the girl that he may want to show off, not you, not the one who is in love with him. If he avoids going out with you in public, then perhaps there is another woman involved. This sounds really hurtful, but if a guy really loves you, he will show you off to the world. He will have no problems and no hesitations taking you out and meeting his friends and family. He will never hide you. So, if you find your man refusing to go out with you in public, you really need to question this. There is no reason why the two of you can't be seen together unless he is in a relationship or in love with somebody else. Sign 2. The routine has changed. When you're in a relationship, you normally fall into a routine. That's just what happens. He always comes home at a certain time. Every now and then he will have flowers and chocolates. Just the normal little romantic things that he always does. When these things suddenly stop, you need to wonder why. Something is changing his routine and you need to figure out what it is. Could it be that he's having a more stressful time at work? Is he hanging out with new friends? You need to know these things because routines for a couple doesn't just suddenly change for no reason. And trust me, it's not due to laziness. It is possible that he may have found somebody else. Sign 3. He is no longer affectionate with you. This is one of the most telltale signs that he is in love with somebody else, or he is falling out of love with you. If you no longer feel his love and affection, you need to sit down and talk to him about it. If a man has fallen out of love with you, normally he will no longer be attentive to your needs. And if he happens to have fallen in love with somebody else, he will feel guilt when he is showing you love and affection because in his heart he knows that he loves somebody else. Sign 4. He becomes distant. If a man really loves you, if he is really emotionally invested in you, then he will share a lot of his thoughts and feelings with you. There will be no hesitations or distance on his part. So if he is suddenly acting more distant and he no longer spends as much time with you, or even sits down and just talks to you about how his day went, then you need to have an open and honest conversation with him about your relationship. A loving and healthy relationship involves a lot of open communication. So if he suddenly starts acting distant, you need to figure out why. Sign 5. He gets angry and defensive. If you sit down with your man and try to talk to him about what's been happening with your relationship, and his response is to get angry and defensive, then there is something else that is going on. This may be more than just a little rough patch in your relationship. It's possible that he is now interested in somebody else. This is a telltale sign that he has fallen in love with another woman. If you try to confront him about this and his reaction is one of anger, denial, and defensiveness, that means that he is trying to hide something from you and he feels that he is finally being found out. If he starts gaslighting you, calling you crazy and paranoid, that is a big sign that he is in love with somebody else. But again, you need to sit down with him and try to have an open and honest honest conversation. You need to figure out what really is going on. If you can't even sit down and talk to each other about things, it's going to be hard for you to save your relationship. Sign 6, he avoids eye contact. They say that the eyes never lie. If you want to know the truth from someone, all you have to do is look them straight in the eye. That will show you a lot. Now, if your man can no longer bring himself to look you in the eyes when you're having a conversation about your relationship, then something is going on. There may be something or someone that is forcing him to look away. Sign 7, he isn't happy with you anymore. If you really love someone, simple things like sitting beside them makes you feel so happy. You get butterflies in your stomach. Most guys are very transparent when it comes to emotions. Believe it or not, they may not say what they're feeling, but they definitely show it. If he's thinking of somebody else, you're going to see that in his actions or lack thereof. For example, he no longer acts so enthusiastic when he's around you. You feel like he doesn't really want to be in your company. He may not say the words, but you can definitely feel it from him. He always appears distracted because yes, he actually is. He is possibly thinking of somebody else. Remember, when a man is happy with you, he will always want to be with you. He will always want to touch you and sit beside you. If your man no longer does any of these things, then that is a big red flag. Sign 8, he compares you to other women. At first, you might not notice that he is actually comparing you to another woman, possibly because he wants you to improve and make yourself a better person. Kind of condescending, right? But a real man who is in love with you will see you as the most beautiful woman in the world, despite all your flaws. And if he wants you to be a better version of yourself, he will work with you through it, and he will work on himself too. He will have the humility to do so. If he starts belittling you and making you feel small, usually that means he's no longer satisfied with you, even though he fell in love with you and loved all your flaws and imperfections. It's possible that he found somebody else, and he is now comparing you to her. These are just some of the signs that show a man has fallen in love with another woman. These are just some of the signs that show that your man has fallen in love with somebody else. Remember, you know your relationship better than we do. When you feel that something is wrong, don't be afraid to have an open and honest conversation with him. Until next time.